Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In Group in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for December 17, 2021. Okay, so only a few pre-orders to tell you guys about. They're doing a bunch of Prince reissues, Controversy, the self-titled, Prince for You, Sign of the Times, 1999, Around the World in 80 Days, and Dirty Mind. Just standard reissues. Nothing other than the fact that they haven't really been in print for quite a while. A couple titles have recent reissues, but you know, Controversy, Dirty Mind, not something I've actually seen in the store in a couple years. Also, Analog Productions is doing another title at 45 RPM, Willie Nelson's, and Then I Wrote at 45 RPM. That's due in at the end of December, so give or take a couple weeks with those audiophile labels. But yeah, end of December. All right, a ton of killer restocks and a bunch of long-awaited titles that I'm so happy to finally get out the door and away to you guys at your house where I never have to be emailed again. First one, not one of those titles, but look at this. Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde, Mobile Fidelity. Title that I thought was pretty much out of print. I have not seen this in years. This was a $300 record a couple of weeks ago. And pop back in, available. You know, I had a long-standing back order with Mobile Fidelity on this. Pop back in print. But I would imagine, guys, this is actually going to be here to stay for a little while. Reason being is, if you notice, they redesigned this and the Miles Davis Kinda Blue. They redesigned the boxes. The labels are different, and the box is actually different. This is essentially a one-step size box, not as thick as a one-step, but printed on cover. It's not that, you know, it's white back, doesn't have that textured feel that the original version of this had. So it is essentially the same record, but they've redesigned, re-engineered the box. What's cool about this, and I've talked to you about this a while back, Mobile Fidelity now on all their box sets pack them in-house. So the shrink wrap is a little different on this and their new one-steps going forward, because they are getting the records, getting the boxes, and they're hand sorting these things out to minimize any kind of defects, because this is another set of eyeballs. They're able to double check the records, call any defects, and also make sure, you know, you're getting proper disc 1s and 2s. It was a little bit of a problem a while back. An RTI problem, of course, because Mobile Fidelity bought the records, sourced them from RTI, and there were some packing errors, but they've kind of took some steps to eliminate that altogether, which is quite nice. But normally I put these on the website a little bit ahead of time, the night before. A lot of you guys watch the videos. You'll see sometimes as I'm working on Wednesday, you guys are buying things, but I didn't actually put this live on the website until 6 o'clock, the exact time this video goes live. And oh my God, I'm so thrilled to have this. I'm so thrilled to have this, to get it out to you guys. The Miles Davis Kinda Blue UHQR is finally here. A lot of you guys pre-ordered it. There was some manufacturing delays to where this drug on for a long time. You know, this record was essentially a record that was designed pre-pandemic. There was going to be a smaller number count. You know, this record was designed and engineered quantity-wise, pre-pandemic record buying madness hysteria. Times changed, the quantity got upped on them. Pandemic, manufacturing delays, production delays, getting box delays, getting cover delays. But now it is finally here, and for all intents and purposes, this is sold out. I've got a few of these left. You can get them on the website. Then they're gone. If you've pre-ordered this, of course your pre-order is going to be shipping here in the next couple days. You know, keep in mind, guys, it's Christmas. We're behind on big box sets like this, but we'll have them all out in the next couple days. They just came in. But yeah, Miles Davis and Bob Dylan. All right, a couple of 7 inches to show you guys this week. This is from Spoon. This is Wild. Looks like that is an indie exclusive. Also, Eddie Vedder has a new 7-inch single out, The Long Way. I don't do a ton of 7 inches, but some of the better stuff I try to pick up. All right, Miles Davis, 10-inch from Sam Records, one of my absolute all-time favorite audiophile labels. They've only done about 15 titles in the history of the label. They're out of France. Almost everything they do is analog. They use the original session photography, kind of similar to what Music Matters did with Blue Note. All original flip back covers. Their stuff is absolutely fantastic, guys. I highly recommend it. Great record. Elevators to the Gallows, I believe, is the English translation of this title. But great recording. Barney Weiland is on this piece as well. Really good. I also got another long-awaited reorder. Nathan Davis's Live in Paris. This is on my top 10 imprint jazz records you should own, analog jazz records you should own. They essentially did a first pressing of 1,000 copies. They did a second pressing of 1,000 copies. And it looks like this is now an in-print third pressing. No more reference to limited edition. But yeah, already sold out. I mean, can't get it anymore. Probably be another year before we see it again. But I've got some of those left. All right, these were supposed to come out last Friday, but I didn't get them until the tail end of the week, so I wasn't able to show them. The newest Blue Note Classic Series titles. We got another 4. Introducing Kenny Cox. These are all analog, cut by Kevin Gray from the original analog master tapes. Unbelievably killer sounding records. Affordable price-wise when you think about it. $25, you're essentially getting an all analog audiophile record. Great title, Jimmy Smith's Home Cookin'. Definitely the most famous of the 4 titles. This is a really good one, Reuben Wilson's Love Bug. I've listened to this quite a few times since it came in last week. I did get, let me see here, and this is the last, The Prophet, Herbie Nichols. This is actually the first time I've seen this on a Blue Note Classic, one of these old school titles. They did a gatefold. So, Blue Note Classic with a gatefold. Price did increase, but yeah. I did get a restock on Art Blakey's Buhana's Delight. Another, this is the third. I got 3 Speakers Corner reissues. Ronald Bright Trio, unbelievably killer record, guys. I love this record. I mean, this label is just, I wish they did more, but it's a small one-man label. You know, Fred, who owns Sam, it's one guy essentially does the whole kit and caboodle. So we're limited. The output is limited, but the stuff he does is fantastic. But just look at the quality. I don't know how well that comes in through the camera. I mean, the quality is fantastic. The flip back covers, they sound great. I mean, there's some Chet Baker titles, Bobby Jasper, a couple of Nathan Davis titles. Pretty much this and the Nathan Davis are probably the only 2 titles, and the Miles Davis I have in print that are in stock. Everything's awaiting repress, like every other audiophile label out there. Waiting repress, majority of the catalog. But yeah, a couple restocks from Analog Productions. Miles Davis, 7 Steps to Heaven. This is the 45 RPM version. Killer title, something I thought that was out of print, but it is back. The Wonderful Sounds of Jazz. This is the 33 RPM version. Great record, back in stock. All analog, Billie Holiday, Count Basie, Mal Waldron. All right, from my top 100 imprint analog records you should own, Dusty Springfield, Dusty in Memphis. This is exceptionally good. Great female vocal record. It's got the smash hit Son of a Preacher Man on it. But this is one of those records, if you listen to an original and then you listen to this, or you listen to any other version of this record besides this, once you hear this, you can't unhear it, and this is your go-to for this from now on. It is really, really good. And I have not heard anything that even comes close to it. Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Sky is Crying. This is the 33 RPM from Analog Productions. I also got a restock of The Doors, Morrison Hotel. Unbelievable. This is the definitive version of this record, as well as Waiting for the Sun, definitive version of this record. Really great. Another good title, John Lee Hooker's Serve Your Right to Suffer. This is actually a title that was gone for years. It's going for hundreds, $200-300. Came back in print. Here we go. Great title. Counting Crows, August and Everything After. Back in stock. Oh, one more Doors title. I got the self-title. The self-titled Doors. I also got a restock in from Impex, another small boutique label that does killer stuff. Green sleeves from Shojuji Yokachi Trio. I'm sure that's not even close to it, but you know, there it is. You guys can sound it out. Green sleeves. Great record from Three Blind Mice, kind of the Blue Note of Japan. An unbelievably well-recorded dynamite label. Really good record. There's actually a cover of Art Blakey's Moanin', written by Bobby Timmons, the piano player, but really, really good record. Recommend this. And then also a restock of Al Di Meola's Friday Night in San Francisco. There's also a Saturday Night in San Francisco coming out, I talked about a couple of days ago on the website for pre-order. Got a restock in from the Lost Recordings. Boutique label out of, where are they out of? They're out of Germany. Sarah Vaughan, these are all hand numbered. This is number 640. They only did 2,000 of these. They hand number them on the back and the front. I listened to this one so far. It is really good. Emil Gillis, the unreleased recital, 1976. Number to 2,000 as well. This is 1,757. New Blue Note title, Gregory Porter, Still Rising. Blue Note is still putting out some killer stuff. I really dug Gregory's last album. I'm looking forward to this one. You know, there's a cover on here, and this is the record. This is the track that immediately caught my eye. But he's doing a cover of Willie Dixon's "My Babe." A couple of Ween titles. Let's see, Godween live in. Let's see. This is a red vinyl with blue splatter and blue vinyl with red splatter. Includes an MP3 download. This is a Velvet Underground tribute record. It's called "I'll Be Your Mirror" with a mirror banana. You get it? Let's see, Iggy Pop, Sharon Von Etten, Kurt Weill, Fontaine's DC. So kind of a tribute to the Velvet Underground. All right, from Waxworks, Army of the Dead. Wow, this is a pretty elaborate looking jacket. What does this say here? Music from the Netflix film, interactive die-cut jacket. And this is the 2LP 180-gram colored vinyl variant. You know, Waxworks does a lot of soundtracks, but they do a lot of color variants. Popol Vuh, acoustic and ambient spears. This is volume 2. Volume 1, it's been a long time since I've seen, about a year. Hopefully we'll get that back in stock, but they did a volume 2. This is something that I kind of had for a while, and turns out it has, these titles have been long out of print. You know, they go for some big money. I looked online, and this thing was going for like $300. People were paying for this record. Out of print. I have a couple left. Satchmo Plays King Oliver. Unbelievably killer sounding record. They also have a 45 RPM version of it that came out. But I figured I'd mention it to you guys because it's out of print. It's a great sounding Louis Armstrong record. And, you know, no sense in paying $350 on Discogs. I got it right here for a whole lot less money. Licorice Pizza. Soundtrack. Yeah. Player score. Not familiar with the original motion picture. I haven't seen it. But it was a pretty popular soundtrack. A lot of people were asking for it leading up to it actually being released. Gene Clark's Collected. Music on vinyl, limited to 3,000. This is 370 of 3,000. They are on... Is this a colored record? Yeah, it's actually limited edition, but it doesn't specify that it's colored. Interesting. Normally music on vinyl does colored limited editions. This is a 3-disc set. This is kind of a series that they do. Essentially, their greatest hits albums by music on vinyl. They've done the Marvin Gaye. They've done a whole bunch of different bands, and they're actually quite good. Another title from Blue Note. This has been one. I'll keep this copy. The Shrink is Torn. This is one that came out maybe about 6 months, a year ago. I was so disappointed when there was no vinyl release of this. I listened to it online a couple times. It's unbelievably good. Lonnie Smith's Breathe, finally getting a vinyl release. It's got Iggy Pop doing 2 tracks on it. It's mostly, I think it was a birthday party of his where he performed, but Iggy Pop, there's 2 studio tracks on it that Iggy Pop, actually there's 3 here. Let's see, so he does a version of Timmy Thomas's Why Can't We Live Together with Iggy Pop singing, and also Sunshine Superman. I listened to this album probably 40 times when it came out. I was listening to it pretty much everywhere we went in the car, listening to it at home, in the store. Great record. I'm really glad it's finally out on vinyl. But yeah, Lonnie Smith just passed away here recently. Sly and the Family Stone, there's a riot going on. This is a limited edition repressing on red vinyl. Frank Zappa, 200 Motels. Frank Zappa, not my cup of tea, but he's popular. This is pressed on 180 gram black vinyl. Optimal Media in Germany. This is remastered by the legend Bernie Grundman. I've never heard them call him a legend on a hype sticker, but yeah, I mean, he is a legend. And now the hype sticker officially proclaims it to be. I'm pretty sure most of the stuff that they've done Frank Zappa related recently has all been analog. There might have been a couple of titles where the analog tape wasn't usable, but I think for the most part, most of his reissues have been all analog. Let's see. Bengals' Ultimate Collection. This is just, what is this? A Sony's reissue greatest hits? But yeah. Mono, Formica Blues. Music on vinyl. New reissue. Reissue of West Side Story. It's comical, man. This used to be, you couldn't give this away in the dollar bin. This was a record that, with Herb Alpert, Whipped Cream, and Other Delights, would just plague every dollar bin in every record store for decades. Now, I have people coming in specifically asking for Herb Alpert. I had somebody yesterday, do you have a Herb Alpert, Whipped Cream, and Other Delights? And it's like, every time I hear that now, I'm just, man, I'm befuddled to actually hear somebody, and they're not joking, they mean it. They want Herb Alpert. This is the same thing, West Side Story. People ask for this album quite a bit, so I pulled it in. Music on vinyl, limited to 1,000 on pink and purple marble vinyl. It is going to be popular. It will sell quickly. America Hat Trick, limited edition of 1,500 on Safari Color vinyl. I don't know what Safari Color would be, but yeah, 542 of 1,500. And another music on vinyl title from Sugar Ray. Lemonade and Brownies, 2,000 individually numbered copies on translucent colored vinyl. Green translucent colored vinyl. This is 1,737. So yeah, Sugar Ray. The Beautiful Liar, Ex-Ambassadors. No clue what that is. Another Ween title. This is a live concert at the Cat's Cradle, 1992. First time available on vinyl, on milky clear colored vinyl. 2 LP set. This was actually heavily allocated, so I got a few of these copies, but not many. Chuck Prophet, No Other Love. Another soul jazz comp. Great label. This is Cuba, Music and Revolution, Culture Clash in the Havana Club. Experiments in Latin music, 73 to 85. So kind of a Latin music comp. A lot of these are really, really good. I'm actually looking forward to Space Funk. This is one that I'm going to get. Space Funk. Afro-futurist electro funk in space, 1976 to 1984. I have absolutely no idea what any of this is going to sound like, but I've been happy with the label in the past. I'm sure it's going to be quite good. It's one of those covers. It's like, I want to hear what that sounds like. And France Fernandad. Tonight. And I don't know why I waited till last to show this. I should have bumped this up a little bit sooner. This is a good title. This was originally going to be a record store day release. Sun Ra Omniverse. Original copy of this came out on his Saturn label. Good luck ever finding anything from his Saturn label. It's out there, but it is extremely rare and expensive and pressed on the crappiest noisy vinyl ever. I've got a lot of them. They aren't the best sounding records. So these modern harmonic reissues are kind of a welcome thing into the shop. Let's see, originally recorded in 1979, released that year. This is a reissue on colored vinyl. But yeah, original record store day title. This is one of the titles that got bumped due to shipping delays and whatnot. But yeah, guys, that is it for this week, which it's actually been a lot of stuff, and I'm exhausted. I mean, this has been the amount of stuff we've gotten in this week and the amount of stuff we've had to ship this week and the amount of people wanting their stuff like immediately, obviously because of Christmas. It's been a taxing week in retail, and I'm guessing maybe next week it gets even worse. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm going to go home and take a nap and come back tomorrow and do it all again. But check us out online, guys, www.theingroove.com. Until next time.